Take a deep breath. You're alive. You woke up today, had your coffee, and went about your business, but statistically speaking, you really shouldn't be here right now. In fact, within the exact last 24 hours, the Grim Reaper has been sitting on your chest, whispering in your ear, and you didn't even blink. We walk a microscopic tightrope every single day. One slight breeze, one microscopic malfunction in your cells, or one poorly timed breath, and it's game over. You think you're safe right now? Let's rewind the clock and look at the 5 times you almost died today, completely without knowing it. Chapter 5. The Bedroom Killer. Let's start where you feel the safest, your bed. Last night, you curled up under the covers, completely defenseless, but your sanctuary is actually a perfectly sealed trap. While you were in deep REM sleep, a silent, odorless killer might have been pooling in your home. Carbon monoxide, a tiny leak in your heating system, invisible to the human eye, replacing the oxygen in your blood cell by cell. You wouldn't choke, you wouldn't wake up coughing, you would just slip into a slightly deeper sleep and never wake up. But let's say your heater is fine. What about that phone charger? Yes, that cheap $5 charging cable you bought online, currently plugged in right next to your pillow. As it bent at an awkward angle under your mattress, the frayed internal wires created microsparks. For a fraction of a second, the heat surged past the melting point of the plastic casing. A microscopic fire started right next to your highly flammable cotton sheets. But miraculously, a tiny shift in your body weight severed the connection just enough to stop the spark. You survive the night by shifting your shoulders an inch to the left. You wake up, you stretch, you survive the bedroom, but the danger hasn't even started. Chapter 4. The Ticking Time Bomb. You walk to the bathroom and look in the mirror. You look normal, but beneath your skull, there might be a ticking time bomb. It's called an unruptured brain aneurysm. Imagine a tiny weak spot on the wall of a blood vessel in your brain, ballooning out like a tired tire about to pop. Studies show that about 1 in 50 people are walking around with one right now. They have 0 symptoms, no headaches, no dizziness, nothing. Every time you laughed too hard at a joke yesterday, every time you strained to lift a heavy box, or even when your blood pressure spiked because of an annoying email, the thin, fragile wall of that aneurysm stretched. The blood rushed against it with terrifying force. It was 1 heartbeat away from bursting, a catastrophic event that kills up to 50% of people instantly. But your body, in its absolute architectural genius, held it together. The microscopic fibers of your blood vessel fought a desperate, silent war against the pressure, and they won. You went downstairs to make breakfast, completely oblivious to the fact that your brain just saved its own life. Chapter 3. The Microscopic Assassins. To wake yourself up, you hop in the shower. You turn the dial to hot, the bathroom fills with steam, and you take a deep, refreshing breath. What you just inhaled is a microscopic battlefield. Shower heads are the perfect warm, damp breeding grounds for opportunistic pathogens like Legionella, or in rare cases of tap water usage, Naegleria fowleri, the infamous brain-eating amoeba. As you inhaled that warm steam, thousands of these microscopic assassins entered your nasal cavity. They bypassed your outer defenses and made a direct sprint toward your central nervous system. If they reach your brain, the fatality rate is over 97%. But why are you still here? Because your immune system operates like an elite SWAT team. In the span of a few milliseconds, your mucosal lining trapped the invaders. Macrophages, the heavy artillery of your immune system, swarmed the area, engulfing and dissolving the pathogens with brutal efficiency. A microscopic war with millions of casualties was fought and won right behind your nose before you even reached for the shampoo. You dry off. You get dressed. You step outside your house feeling fresh. You walk out onto your apartment balcony to check the weather, looking down at the concrete 5 stories below. And suddenly, a bizarre, terrifying thought echoes in your mind. What if I just jumped? You didn't want to. You're not depressed. You love your life. But for a split second, your brain genuinely considered throwing you over the edge. This terrifying glitch in human psychology is known as l'appel du vide, the call of the void. It happens when your survival instinct misfires, misinterpreting a subconscious safety signal as a conscious desire to fall. You step back, your heart pounding, you just survived a momentary assassination attempt by your own mind. Chapter 2: The Toxic Cocktail. Shaking off the psychological glitch of the balcony, you head back inside. You have exactly 15 minutes before you need to leave for work. You notice a stubborn grime ring around the bathroom sink. You grab the bleach, you spray it, you wait. Nothing happens. Frustrated and rushing, you reach under the sink, grab a bottle of blue ammonia-based glass cleaner, and spray it right on top of the bleach. In that exact fraction of a second, without a single explosion or warning siren, you just committed a localized act of chemical warfare in your own home. When sodium hypochlorite, the active ingredient in bleach, mixes with ammonia, they violently react to create an invisible, creeping cloud of chloramine gas. This isn't just a harsh smell. This is a highly reactive toxic agent. As the invisible vapor rose from the porcelain sink, you took a shallow breath. The gas traveled down your trachea. Now here is the terrifying part. When chloramine gas meets the natural moisture lining your lungs, it goes to work. It chemically converts into hydrochloric acid and free ammonia radicals. It literally begins to dissolve your respiratory tissue from the inside out. Your eyes started to water. You coughed, a dry, scratching sensation in your throat. But your brain, accustomed to the ultimate safety of modern domestic life, rationalized the danger. It just smells really clean in here, you thought. You wiped the sink, held your breath for a moment simply out of annoyance, and stepped out of the small, unventilated bathroom to grab your keys. What you didn't know is that you were playing Russian roulette with a stopwatch. If your phone had rung in that moment, or if you had decided to stay and scrub the bathtub, trapping yourself in that enclosed space for just 3 to 5 more minutes, the cellular damage would have reached a critical tipping point. Your lungs would have triggered a massive inflammatory response, rapidly leaking plasma into your alveoli. You wouldn't have choked on the gas. You would have experienced pulmonary edema. You would have literally drowned on dry land, suffocating in your own bodily fluids right next to your toothbrush. Instead, you shut the bathroom door, trapping the deadly gas inside, and walked out of the house. You casually survived a DIY gas chamber, completely oblivious to the war zone you left behind. Chapter 1: The Commute of Doom. Now, the ultimate climax of your morning. You get in your car. Statistically, this is the most dangerous thing you will do all day. You're cruising down the highway at 70 miles per hour. You're a little groggy. The podcast is playing in the background, but you aren't really hearing it. You just stare at the taillights in front of you. For exactly 3 seconds, your eyes are wide open, but your brain goes completely offline. This is called a microsleep. In those 3 seconds, traveling at 70 miles per hour, your car moved the entire length of a football field. You were essentially driving a 2-ton metal missile, completely blind and unconscious. The car drifts a fraction of an inch toward the median. The tires hit the rumble strip. Bzzz. You snap back to reality, you blink, adjust the wheel, and think, "Whoa, I spaced out there for a second." No, you didn't just space out. You were clinically unconscious at highway speeds. You were a quarter turn of the steering wheel away from a catastrophic multi-car pileup, but sheer dumb luck and the vibration of the road saved your life. The emotional soul and outro. So why are we talking about this? To make you paranoid to leave your house? Absolutely not. I'm telling you this because you need to realize how incredibly resilient you are. Your body is a microscopic fortress. Your immune system is a relentless army. And sometimes the universe just hands you a miracle wrapped in a mundane Tuesday morning. We are fragile, yes, but we are also survivors of 1,000 invisible wars. You won the cosmic lottery just by making it to work today. Every heartbeat, every breath, every narrowly avoided disaster is a testament to the sheer, unbelievable luck of being human. So take a deep breath right now. Appreciate it. You're alive. If you want to keep surviving and uncovering the insane hidden secrets of your own life, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. We post videos that will change the way you see the world. And tell me in the comments, what's the closest call you've ever had? I'll be reading them. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.